How you doing there, Raiders? It's Aaron Blue Eyes back with another Arc Raiders live stream, and it's going to be a short one, but not too short. We are going to finally address our skill point issue. So I am currently level 11, and you have one more skill point than your level. Because they start you off with one skill point when you're level 0 to level 1. I currently have not used a single skill point at all. We have 12 available, and I was trying to push the limits of the gameplay because I'm still getting used to the game, still seeing, how to, how everything works, game mechanic wise. And with the exception of a couple instances initially, I really didn't feel like I needed to spend skill points to be competitive and play. So I was like, let's just keep playing without using any skill points, especially because once you assign skill points, it's permanent until you decide to wipe in 9 weeks if you complete the expedition project. That's the only way to reset your skill points. Right now we have a level cap of 75, so we have a total of 76 skill points to use. Meaning, in theory, we could potentially get to the top of these skill trees, which require 36 points to get to. We could, in theory, I think, get to 4 top tier skill points, because if we get 36 points in order to get to one of these, we have those same 36 points to get to the opposite side. So we have an A and a B side to each track: survival, mobility, and conditioning. So if we went for security breach, which is a super important one, and we spend 36 skill points, why not spend 37 skill points and then get Minesweeper? Even though it's very situational, you already invested to get this, you might as well get this, right? So figure, if you're gonna max out 2 top level skills, you could do it on 2 trees, two of the branches of the tree. So either mobility and conditioning, or mobility and survival, or survival and conditioning. And then you would have 2 spare perks, 2 spare skill points to use outside of that situation. That's if you went that route. I don't know if I'm gonna go that route or not yet, but today when I was playing, I had played 3 matches earlier during Halloween. Well, I guess it was technically yesterday, because no, it is still today. It's still Halloween. It's 11, it's after 11, Eastern Standard Time. I had 3 matches where out of the 3, I only successfully extracted once. The first one, I didn't make it because I didn't have enough stamina. And the last one, I didn't make it because I didn't have enough stamina. And the last one was so close. I had so much good loot. I was mere seconds away from pushing the button to exfil. And then the missiles came in and killed me. So I was like, you know what? It's time. I can play on the base map on the dam without too much issue, but once you start unlocking the other maps, and there's more Arc, there's different environmental stipulations and terrain, there's more open terrain, especially at Blue Gate. It's just these rolling fields, and you can get descended upon by arcs, and there's a lot of situations where you don't have enough cover. It really was a detriment to me, so I said, okay, I've thought long and hard about this. Let's finally use our 12 skill points. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna use up our 12 skill points. We made it past 10 levels without using a single skill point, but that time is here. So we're gonna start off, as most do, with mobility. So we're going to start off with the first one, Nimble Climber. You can climb and vault more quickly. In order for you to get into this tree, you have to at least put 1 point here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Again, I get the pucker factor doing this because every single time that I put one of these skill points down, it's permanent until I do that wipe eventually. So you can't change it, you can't reset it unless you do a full character wipe. So let's go ahead and put our first point here, Nimble Climber. Acquire Nimble Climber, Tier 1. You can climb and vault more quickly. Skill points 1. Confirm. Alright, so this branches off into 2 branches from this tree. So we have Marathon Runner. Moving around costs less stamina. And Slip and Slide. You can slide further and faster. I like both of these. I'm not going to lean too much on the Slip and Slide just yet. But we are going to do Marathon Runner because it makes it so we're more efficient with our stamina cost at running, which is a good help. So we'll go ahead and put a skill point here. Alright, we have 10 skill points left, folks. We've used 2. We're going to go up to Youthful Lungs. And this increases your maximum stamina. This is probably the most important node in the skill tree of every single node that's out there, because increasing your max stamina impacts every aspect of gameplay, from running to sliding to vaulting to climbing to tumbling out of being shot at by arcs or players. So even though I don't have too much else figured out that I know I'm gonna do, this right here is a must. I am about to max this out. I'm gonna dump 5 points, half of what I have left, into Youthful Lungs, so that way I have maximum stamina. I don't have to worry about upgrading my stamina bar anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and max out Youthful Lungs right now. And before we hit A and anything, we're just gonna make sure we're in the right node. Acquire skill Youthful Lungs Tier 2. I don't like how it kind of resets back to the bottom. Youthful Lungs Tier 3. Make sure it's saying the right one. I'm glad there's an extra confirm button just to make sure you're going to the right place. And we're gonna do Tier 4 for Youthful Lungs. Why does it keep going down there? It should just stay on the node you're on. Alright, and Tier 5. Yeehaw! So we got Youthful Lungs maxed out. We have max stamina. Now, we have 5 points left, and this is where I debate what I'm gonna do. And I might take a few moments before I make my decisions. So, I have 5 points left. And we could either continue mobility, but I'm leaning away from that and potentially splitting these 5 points into a little bit of conditioning and a little bit of survival. And so we're going to look at a couple possibilities before I make a decision. All right. So we have 5 points left. We put 1 in Nimble Climber, 1 in Marathon Runner, and then we dump 5 into Youthful Lungs. So we have that maxed out, right? So we have 5 points left. So one strategy is to drop a point in used to the weight over here on the first node of conditioning. It says wearing a shield doesn't slow you down as much. And if we do that, what I would probably do, keeping in mind I only have 5 points left, is go to gentle pressure, right? Which makes it so you make less noise when breaching. Breaching is a slow, loud process, and when it comes to dealing with other raiders going to ambush you or trying to breach something out in the open where Ark has line of sight of you, this action of breaching is going to draw attention from a long distance away. And so I think it's probably worthwhile to start working on this side of the equation, right? So if I put 2 points over here, right, that means I have 3 points left. All right? My thoughts then, if I do that, I could either continue along the path of conditioning and throw a 3rd point down here to proficient prior, and it says breaching doors and containers take less time. So not only are you a little bit quieter, but you're also spending a little less time doing it, making you vulnerable for a little less time. So that's one route, right? Whether or not I put the 3rd one here or not. The other route is doing a point into agile croucher, right? And what this does is it speeds up your movement while you're crouching, which I like. You can't do a sprint crouch like you can in other games, like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, which I was hoping you had that ability, but you don't. So you can't like do like a little sprint crouch at all. So this agile croucher is the only way to increase your speed for movement while crouching, and crouching is super important. You're gonna have to stealth a lot in this game, and you really want to crouch. So it will tier 1 into this node will at least get that branch started of the tree, and then we can either pick one of two things: revitalizing squat, which regenerates some stamina while you're crouched. So you automatically do regenerate stamina while you're crouched, but it will increase it. And then the other option is Looter's Instinct. When searching a container, loot is revealed faster. Now the reason why these are both great, I might make my way towards Silent Scavenger. That way you make less noise when looting. Initially, when I was doing the server slam and before the game came out and I was doing some research, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do in-round crafting, I don't really think I'm gonna go that route. At least not right away. Because like I thought it was something I should have immediately, and I've gone 12 levels and haven't really found myself too much in need of in-round crafting. I think once you got yourself to tier 2 of in-round crafting, that's when it's valuable, when you could do stuff like shield rechargers. I don't believe you can in-round craft shield rechargers with tier 1. You can do bandages, you can make a little flame torch, you can slice up fruit if you have it to buff your stamina and your health for 2 seconds. You can make a little smoke grenade, you can make a little impact grenade, you can make like 1 or 2 other things. Oh, a stim, an adrenaline rush stim, and there might be like 1 other thing. But I can't remember if you can do field chargers or not. In-round crafting. Ark Raiders. I'm not 100% sure what we can craft. I know I did see a YouTube video about it before, and I'm gonna look at it right now just to see what the items are that you can actually craft. Alright, so an adrenaline shot is one thing. A little smoke grenade, which I already told you guys about. A bandage, which that's good. It can do agave juice, which says it's a concoction that temporarily increases stamina regeneration at a small initial cost to health. That's kind of interesting. It looks like you can. The flame spray is something kind of cool, but I've literally, I don't think ever come across the air freshener, or if I have, it's only been like once or twice, and I probably sold it. But we can, in fact, craft a shield recharger. So bandages and the shield rechargers, probably the two most valuable things you could craft in a pinch. So you can't craft ammo, at least not at tier 1. Tier 2 you might be able to craft ammo. So if we put a point, again, we only have 5 points left. If we put a point towards Agile Croucher, right? We could spend 2 more points after that to get to Revitalizing Squat. Right? Which is here. And then we could put a point in in-round crafting. We could do that. Or we could, instead of spending 2 points to get to here, we could just spend 1 point, get to Looter's Instincts, so that way you can reveal loot a little bit faster, and then spend a 2nd point and do the Silent Scavenger. So if we go this way, right, we would make a little less noise when we're scavenging, and we also make less noise when we're breaching. So it will be kind of a stealth approach on both sides of the tree. A little less noise breaching, a little less noise scavenging. So that's kind of where we're at with things. This is so tough to make this decision. Another route we could go is, instead of going anything into survival, right? We could go to conditioning. We could go to use to the weight 1, gentle pressure, proficient prior, right? So that we'll do, again, make less noise when breaching, breach quicker. We'd have 2 more points, and we could get to fight or flight. And it says when you're hurt in combat, you regain a fixed amount of stamina. Has a cooldown between uses. So essentially, it kind of gives you like a little adrenaline boost. Like, okay, you're taking damage, even if you're low on stamina, you're gonna get a little bump of stamina, and it will let you kind of keep on going. And then that, if we put enough into our conditioning, we could get to survivor stamina. It says where you're critically hurt, your stamina regenerates faster. I really think that pairs well with mobility. And then down but determined, when you're down, it takes longer before you collapse. That's really good. Like, eventually you'll be able to get a decent amount of points in most of this stuff, but it's determining which skills you want to really get up here, right? I think Fly Swatter is a waste. It says Wasp and turrets can now be destroyed with a single melee attack. Don't know how often you're going to be in that situation. Vaults on vaults on vaults means vaulting no longer costs any stamina. I don't really see a situation where you're vaulting so much that you're completely draining your stamina. Vault Spring lets you jump at the end of a vault. I think that's kind of cool, where you could vault and then do a jump. Maybe there's certain parts of the maps that, you know, really require more parkouring, and maybe some of the new maps that we haven't seen yet require more parkouring. So yeah, so it's just a matter now of what we're going to do with these next 5 points. Do we want to do a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of survival, or all conditioning? Initially, I was planning on putting 1 point to slip and slide, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. So do we want to make less noise breaching or less noise scavenging? I feel like breaching is so loud and you can hear from so far away. It probably makes more sense to do breaching, at least to get things going, and also making it so your shield doesn't slow you down as much, because light shields don't really have too much impact on your movement, but I guess when you put medium and heavy shields, it will start to impact your movement. So we'll put just the 1 to go here. It'll make us move a little bit better with light shields. We haven't gotten to the point where we needed medium shields yet. And then we'll go ahead and do gentle pressure, make less noise when we're breaching. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to confirm, we're going to commit to this selection. All right, here we go. All right, all right. We did it. We did it. Oof. All right, so now we're going to go over here. We're not going to worry about this just yet because we do have so much stamina because of maxing out the youthful lungs. So we're going to go with gentle pressure, make less noise, breaching. All right, so now we got 3 points left. We got 3 points left. So we could reduce our breaching time, which might not be a bad idea to do. I still might put 1 point in Agile Croucher just to increase my crouching speed. It doesn't hurt to do that, I don't think. And then we would only have 2 points left, and then it's just a matter of do we stay, which track do we go when we do that? So we'll go ahead, you know what, fuck it, we'll do it. It's good to at least get each branch started. So we're gonna do that right now. Agile Croucher, Tier 1. All right, now we got 2 points left. And this is where I think the toughest choices are. Do we go to Revitalizing Squat? This will kind of synergize with our mobility tree branch. And then go into in-round crafting and have the option if we find arc power cells to create shield chargers, because they definitely work better than just using the arc power cell. The question is, I don't know what we need to craft besides the arc power cell. Is it just that, or do we need something else? Arc Raiders, let's do a Google search. Arc Raiders, how to craft shield charger. The little flamethrower thing is cool too. Recipe. You need rubber parts and arc power cells to do it. So it's a situation where you gotta always try to find rubber parts. Rubber parts are pretty easy to come across. Power cells, as long as you're killing arcs, you could recharge your shield. In a pinch, like I've used multiple arc power cells, and when you use those, it only does about half a light shield, so it's probably gonna be worse with other shields. So, fuck. What do we do? What do we do? We got 2 points left. I feel like Silent Scavenger is important, but not as important as being in a pinch to be able to do in-round crafting. I was gonna stay away from it, but the shield recharger and the bandages are a good reason to do it. You're always finding rubber parts. Being able to craft shield rechargers and bandages are the main reason to do this when you're in a pinch. So, you know what? We're gonna go that way rather than going this way. Let's do it. Let's commit. Good is new. While under a healing effect, stamina regeneration is increased. That's cool. What's this one? Suffer in silence. When critically hurt, your movement makes less noise. Alright, in-round crafting. We'll do it. Fuck it. We're going all in. There we go, boys and girls. That's our first 12 points. 2 to conditioning, 7 to mobility, and 3 to survival. We have max stamina now, a little bit more movement, efficiency when we're running, the ability to move a little bit better with shields, be able to breach a little softer, be able to crouch, walk a little faster, regenerate a little more stamina while we're crouching, and field craft. It took me a while to come to this conclusion, probably too long. What we're gonna do is when we acquire more skill points, we're not gonna just do a skill point per level. I'm gonna bank like another 5, maybe even 10 skill points before I really make a decision on what things I wanna do. So thanks for watching. Choose your skills wisely. But one of the things that pretty much is unanimous across the Arc Raiders community is definitely your first set of skill points is to sink into mobility and get Marathon Runner and or Youthful Lungs upgraded a decent amount to get the ball rolling. I chose to max out Youthful Lungs first. That way I have the maximum stamina pool I could have. And then as time goes on, I'll upgrade this. So with that being said, thanks for watching. And until next time, Raiders, make sure that you always check your 6. Peace.